Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda Sarai, and today we are diving into the Autumn Equinox energies. So the Autumn Equinox is this year falling on, depending on your time zone, anytime between the 22nd and the 23rd. It'll be in the late hours of the 22nd if you're in Pacific time zone or Hawaii. And for the rest of us, it lands officially on the 23rd, which is also the start of Libra season, which is all about balance. And that's precisely what the energy of equinox is about. Equinox is equal day and night. When we look back into its Latin roots, that's literally what it means. And it's that balance point in the year. The equinoxes, both the spring and the autumn, represent equal night and equal day. So they represent this beautiful opportunity to come into balance. And I just saw 111. I saw 222 somewhere right as I started the video as well. So there's very much this energy of union. And this is about union within the integration of the light and the dark, the polarities. So that is precisely what the equinox invites us into, is to reflect upon what aspects of our life are being called to bring into a more beautiful, harmonious sense of union. So the energetic aspects within us, the external aspects of balance in our life as far as where are we putting our energy, and a recalibration as we shift seasons as to what balance actually looks like for us. And this is going to be personal for each and every one of us. What does balance look and feel like? Balance isn't a static essence. It's more of a balancing act, as I like to say, because life is not static. We are constantly changing, and there's a cyclical nature to our world, of course, which the seasons help us to calibrate to. So connecting with nature, connecting with her cycles really helps us to hone in on these deeper truths and how to come into this space of harmony within and harmony without. When we're operating with the cycles of the day, with the cycles of the month, with the cycles of the year, then we're going to feel more at peace, more at harmony, and more of this sense of balance in our lives, because we're not trying to force it to look a certain way from this 3D matrix perspective, which has been very skewed toward the masculine. We've been out of balance. So it's this focusing on masculine and light over the feminine and the dark. And I talk a lot about the light. So there's this different quality to the light when we integrate the duality, because the duality exists within all. And the truth is, when we are entering this space of wholeness, we're integrating the aspects of the dark into the light. The shadows are healed and integrated. They're not rejected, right? So that brings us into a more beautiful, full spectrum of light that holds the essence of all, their full rainbow spectrum of light, rather than empty light. So think about light being fractaled through a prism of a crystal. The light isn't going to refract perfectly here right now, but when we see sunlight coming through in particular, we can see the light fractal down. This was happening, it was in the sun earlier, and I could see it on the table, and it was just so beautiful. And it had all of the rainbow aspects. I saw a rainbow in the sky yesterday as well, and it was this light coming from the dark clouds. It had rained all day, all night, and all day. And then I looked up, and all of a sudden there was this gorgeous rainbow right in front of me from the valley below, just beaming up into the sky, and then the full and the double rainbow appeared a little while later. It felt like such a blessing. And then the most spectacular sunset, this like blazing orange in the clouds, and the rest of the sky had cleared by then. It felt like pure magic. And it was a beautiful reflection of that duality, the beauty and the magic that comes from the duality of having the dark and the light. Because without the clouds, without that darkness, that rainbow wouldn't have appeared. So think about like an empty white light, like a light bulb light. It's kind of, especially these blue lights, they're terrible. They're empty lights and they're cold lights. So when we have that fuller spectrum of light that we're operating with, there's this sense of warmth to it. There's this sense of beauty, of wholeness that comes through the light when we've integrated the darkness, when we've integrated the different aspects of self that are held within the darkness. So it's a powerful time to really recalibrate, and it's about honoring the harvest as well. So we have this very potent energy of gratitude that we're being called into, to give appreciation for the abundance in our lives and all the abundance that is yet to come from the seeds we have sown and cultivated and nurtured, and we are now ready to reap the rewards of the harvest. So actually going back, Thanksgiving would have made more sense. I mean, it would have been / it makes more sense to have it closer to this time of year, closer to the equinox rather than the end of November. It is what it is in this day and age. And in fact, in Canada, it is in early October. They hold their Thanksgiving holiday. It makes more sense with the seasons, with the apple trees, giving us their bounty, the bounty of their harvest. So there's a lot there, but when we really lean into the gratitude and appreciation for the different cycles of life, for the abundance that we are harvesting, we come to a deeper, more nuanced appreciation of the power of the darkness and the cultivation of the new seeds that are being planted, and this energy of planting. So school starts at this time of year as well. So it really helps us to turn inward. It's that more, the dark half of the year is that more introspective, reflective time. So we get to reflect at this time of year on the progress we have made, the lessons we have learned, and we get to integrate the wisdom so that we can create from this space of integrated wholeness and from this space of completion and wisdom. What are we now going to create? So intellectual pursuits are really favored at this time as well, going deeper into some journey of personal transformation as well, because it's really helping us to tune in and go deeper within as the days turn into night. The night is going to now be longer than the daytime, so we have more moon energy with us as well. So the deeper transformation occurs when we can honor and recognize the value held within both the light and the darkness. So, the truth is we have fallen out of sync with the cosmos. Our holidays are off, as I was indicating with Thanksgiving. So really using these equinox days, the solstice days, the high holy days, including the cross quarter days of Samhain, which we celebrate as Halloween, and Imbolc and Beltane, and Lugnasad in the middle of summer, when we can really attune ourselves to this cyclical calendar. It helps us to reconnect with the earth. And a lot of people have these associations with this pagan essence that has a darker tonality to it. And I want to just presence that there's been a lot of distortion in all in all religion, in all forms of worship, because of this distortion in our world, this distortion, this imbalance that has come from the patriarchy and even going back into the matriarchal society. Anytime we have one over the other, there is inherent distortion. And I just saw 1010 out of the corner of my eyes, so completion. This is the time for us to really complete that energy. And coming off of the Pisces full supermoon, the Virgo new moon, the 9/9 portal day, and we're entering into 10/10 and eclipse season energy. This is really assisting us in getting super grounded and embodied in our new earth ways, in the new golden age ways, in the age of Aquarius energies. And to leave that imbalance of the patriarchy behind, where we suppress the feminine energy, which we all contain, and where we honor one over the other, right? So we're being called to really come into this space of union and appreciation as well. A lot of us have been operating in scarcity mode of, not enough, and I just have 1. And it is a really, really crucial aspect for us to really hone into and really get clear on with ourselves. Where are we still operating out of fear, lack, scarcity, and separation? So wounding, if we reject parts of ourselves that are held within the darkness because they don't feel comfortable, we feel ashamed, whatever, for feeling those feelings, if we keep rejecting those aspects of self, we're going to perpetuate the separation, which causes physical illness and can continue to create this separation, this hierarchy in society as well. So it's the ego form of keeping yourself small a lot of the time is how it manifests. So this is really such an important aspect for us to heal, is our relationship with abundance. And Mother Nature really assists us in reconnecting with that sense of abundance. So it's the green ray. Look at the amount of the beautiful emerald color reflected in nature. Emerald crystal heart energy has been coming through a lot for me. I'm gonna have to do a whole separate video on the emerald energy, because that's just been really powerfully in my field, and this connects to Arkansas, another video I have to do. So there's so much I've been integrating lately. It's so beautiful. So again, it's this balance, this pause moment. It's this transitional energy, but there is this moment of pause and reflection. So I encourage you to take some time this weekend, and whether it's Friday evening or Saturday, I will be hosting a space at noon Eastern to come into ceremony and connect and reflect. And I will be guiding an activation and a ritual ceremonial process to go through, including mudras and movements and suggestions for how to create your sacred space to honor this particular season. So that's happening on Saturday, and I will also be creating an optional / you can receive this separately ritual reflection guide that goes deep into the self-inquiry that we can do, as well as the myths of the darker goddesses and the sister goddesses, the balance of the dark and the light, and how these myths and mysteries help us to more deeply understand our own journey. So I'm really looking forward to record that, because I'm gonna do it today. So that'll be available immediately. So you can, I'll add the links below to access both. So anyway, you may find yourself at this time naturally feeling a desire to turn inward. And we've just come off the new moon, the dark moon as well. So there's been a lot of this inward internal energy. And because the retrograde of, the Mercury and the Venus retrogrades are over, we still have a lot of retrograde energy with us, but those are two of the more palpable ones in my humble opinion. I'm also a Virgo, so the Mercury definitely usually affects me. This year it wasn't anything crazy, it was just this energy of slow down, reflect, right? So we have this energy of the start and go and create new projects at the same time because we have this new earth energy with us. So it's this really interesting time where we get to really go deep into what is that balance going to look like for us, because there's a lot of this energy that I'm like, I'm so excited to create all the things, and there's a lot of energy asking me to really slow down and be inward. So it's been something that's really palpable for me. I've been feeling it very, very strongly, this duality, but coming into that calibration, it feels really good. And this is how we then operate within the flow. What is our personal flow? And that's the embodiment aspect that I speak into and teach, because that's the key. So yeah, this is absolutely a time to reflect and, is there something that your body is asking for you to do? Is this a time for you to do more self-care? Baths, saunas. I did sauna the other night and I was like, oh, this is so necessary. And so honor what your body is asking of you. Allow the sweat helps to release toxins and build up. And I've had a couple cries over the last couple weeks. I'm gonna do a whole separate one on this, but the notion of grief comes up a lot with this season. As the leaves fall, things fall away. It often brings these ideas up, and it's a good thing. So I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. But yes, it's a powerful time to allow those emotions to come up, to flow. To get those seas within rocking, because this is how they come up from those watery depths, and we don't want to be holding on to it. So is your spirit, your soul calling you for deeper reflection? Is there a project that you've been wanting to work on that needs your attention and focus, or that you're yearning to focus on? Create some space in your day to allow yourself to do that. So this is absolutely, in the darker season, a time to go deeper into those intellectual pursuits, those projects, the creation aspect. So, also the notion of rebirth is going to become more and more present as we enter the darkness. So the darker season, we definitely have this moving through all of winter, the Samhain portal, and I'm hosting a retreat over the Samhain portal. I'll link that below, Sacred Self Embodiment. And it's this Imaginarium energy that I'm working with as well, because it's this whole essence of creativity, activating the triple flame within, mind, heart, and womb space, that sacral chakra energy that is our life force energy, that our creation energy. So what wants to be birthed and expressed through us? And so it's going to be this beautiful process. So wherever you're at, this is the energy to be working with. There's just a lot that's happening at this time of year on a deeper internal level. It's less of that outward energy, but when we use it to our benefit, a lot of the potent magic comes from going within. So yeah, we're bringing death to those old ways, letting them go. And this could be letting go of physical clutter in the environment, emotional clutter in our mind, those old thoughts and patterns that might still be creeping up of doubt, of fear, of shame, of guilt, of grief. So allow yourself to get clear on that, to release it. And, any feelings of separation, of fear, of lack of judgment, of shame, holding on to victim thinking. This is a good time to let go of that. So it's, again, a purging, a purification energy that gets to happen. We get to clear out in order to make space for the new. So, think about a garden. We have to clear out the weeds and all the old detritus if we want to plant the seeds and have them be nurtured and cultivated so that they can grow into the beautiful fullness of their potential. So this is what we get to do. And, the space that we create allows us to fully reap the harvest and the abundance that we have been calling in and cultivating. So yes, we get to make room for space of what's to come in the next year. So we can honor everything in our life, shift from lack to prosperity and gratitude by using a little candle ceremony, giving thanks, speaking gratitude. Our words are powerful and they carry an energetic resonance, so speak from your heart always. So really tune in, get quiet. And there's a lot to be said. There's a lot to reflect on, but I think that this is the essence of what we're being called to lean into right now as we enter Libra season, as we enter the dark half of the year, is to just really get clear. I don't want to say finally, because this is a constant process, the spiral of evolution that we're on. We're always going deeper and then rising higher, but we have this powerful energy of completion of bigger, massive karmic cycles that are with us as well. As we enter this new earth energy, the Piscean age is over, we're entering the Aquarius age, and new earth is here. These beautiful golden age energies are here for us to embody. So is there anything that we're still clinging on to, still holding on to? This could even be clothes that hold old memories and old stuff that, we might have some emotional attachment to it. But is it from a space of lack? What kind of emotional attachment is it? Is it actually adding value to our life? There is room for sentimentality, 100%. I'm not saying throw out your old family photos by any means, or family heirlooms, anything like that. There are things that have a beauty and significance for us, of course, and those can be altar items, depending on what your relationship with them is. But there's also going to be stuff for a lot of us that we're holding on to for reasons that are truly rooted in lack and scarcity. And I did just see 222. So yeah, it's something to really reflect on as we enter this season, to create that space, to clear out the space, but also deeply on that energetic level, those old fear patterns. So I will link the ceremony and the reflection guide below. It's the same link. You can just pick what combination, and then the retreat I will link below as well as the sign up for my new masterclass that should be available this week. There was a lot of deep calibration and powerful synchronicities coming through for me this weekend, and I really had to turn inward. So some of the projects I thought I would complete are not fully complete yet, and that's all good. I work in the flow. So I set these dates for myself, and then I there's always something else that comes through that I'm like, thank God I didn't create that yet, So when we allow ourselves to work in the flow and in divine timing as well, when we surrender and trust, things happen more magically. They blossom and expand more beautifully than we could have done if we were creating purely from our ego. So it was just another lesson for me, don't attach to these deadlines. And I don't even like that word deadlines. These dates, time is an illusion as well, right? So I'll link it all below. I'm sending you much love, and I will be sharing a lot more of the things that I mentioned over the coming days and weeks, plus an oracle card reading for the equinox. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would so appreciate a like, subscribe, comment from all of you beautiful souls who are still here at the end. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your beautiful energy always. And let me know what's been coming up for you, because it's been this really powerful time of synchronicity for me, and definitely some release energy. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was there. But I feel so good after, right? So it's just been so beautiful, and I would love to have you there in the ceremony if that feels aligned. And I'm sending you so much love, onward and upward, and love and light. I will see you soon.